Hello again, welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join me. So, I want to talk about More Adventures of Samurai Cat. It's by Mark E. Rogers. It is a continuation in the Samurai Cat series, which started with The Adventures of Samurai Cat. Now, one thing that I really liked about this series is that, in my opinion, the books got better over time, barring the last book in the series. I didn't like that one. In fact, for me, the series ends at Samurai Cat Goes to the Movies. It was the first one I read in the series, which really sparked my desire to read the rest of the series. Anyway, we join Miyawara Tomokato and his nephew Shiro on more adventures in literary and not just literary, but also in movie history. So the first adventure, and they're all connected tangentially. If you remember back to my discussion on the first one, Miyawara Tomokato was a vassal of Lord Nobunaga, and Lord Nobunaga's enemies attacked him. They killed him and his retainers while the samurai cat was away visiting his relatives. So now he's a Ronin, and he is going around. He has his own hit list, and he's going around and killing the people who were involved in the death of his lord. The first person on his list in More Adventures of Samurai Cat is Mordred. Yes, King Arthur's son. In order to defeat Mordred, he has to go on an adventure, and that's where he meets up with Wisconsin Platt. Wisconsin Platt obviously being a play on Indiana Jones. He has the fedora and everything. They are going for the quest. In this case, instead of the Holy Grail or anything of that nature, they are trying to find the Holy Spad, which is a type of biplane used, I believe, in World War One. The next thing they end up on, well, I say they, but it's not they. Samurai Cat then ends up on Mars, where he meets the Bazumians. This is again back to John Carter of Mars. They have the Paterns, and he has to go to the dreaded Epcot Center and fight Mrs. Blissus, and he meets Effluvia and Patin Can. He also bumps into his brother and his brother's family, who are vacationing on Mars. The next adventure he has is Star Wars based. He has to fight the dreaded Empire State with their Death Star. Deaf as in it can't hear. It is basically the Death Star, and instead of having the laser focusing dish as you would have seen in the movies, it has a giant ear. Anyway, he again runs into Wisconsin Platt, only this time he is now Wisconsin Solo, and they have to save Princess Playa Piano. He meets his mentor in this one called Dobi-Wan Gillis, and he has to fight against Darth Shatner. It's great. It's such just this wild romp of terrible puns. The last one, that end is the last one in this particular Adventures of Samurai Cat. We have King Arthur, we have Mars, we have the Empire State, and yes, the giant starship in the beginning is drawn as if it was the Empire State Building flying through space. It's great. Anyway, if you're a fan of this particular kind of humor, it is another great step in the Adventures of Samurai Cat. I liked a lot of the humor in the series, and I like the format. It's very nice to see these large full color illustrations, reminiscent of what's here on the cover. And it's interesting to see sorry about that. It's interesting to see the kind of way that the author's mind thinks when he takes these well-known stories and adapts them to having this basically anthropomorphic samurai cat as the main character. Samurai Miyawara Tomokato is very much what you would expect of a samurai, stoic, an incredible fighter. And what we get a lot of is he is this out-of-place person that is carving a bloody swath through these classics of literature and movies. And we also have Shiro. Now, if you're not familiar with Shiro, Shiro is completely psychotic and totally into guns and I don't want to say evil doing, but he definitely is not always on the up and up like his uncle is. And he's slyly making side deals and getting into trouble and things like that. So we have this imp that's running around behind his very cool uncle, helping him on his quest, and at times hindering because, as I said, he's not always the most upright of individuals. Anyway, it's a great continuation of the series. Back when I first started collecting these books, they were out of print. I don't know if they've actually started printing any of these again. It was relatively easy for me to find and buy the Samurai Cat Goes to the movies, but the previous books in the series were very, very hard to get. I ended up having to buy a few of them on eBay, and definitely paid more than I would like to mention. I don't know. I see places where you can buy them on Amazon and stuff, but I don't know. I remember when I first tried to get the books, and I went to the bookstore, and they didn't have any books by Mark E. Rogers. And even when I asked them to order the books for me, they said, "Oh yeah, we have these." They were never by Mark E. Rogers. There are other Samurai Cat books, but they're like kids' books by a completely different author. Anyway, great book. Completely loved the series, and I thought it got better over time, barring the last book in the series. I really didn't enjoy that one. Maybe someday I will get around to reviewing that one. But anyway, More Adventures of Samurai Cat, highly recommended. Especially if you're in the neighborhood for a written spoof. That's it for today. Let me know if you've read any of the Samurai Cat books. Let me know what you thought of More Adventures of Samurai Cat. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you get notified when I release new episodes. And until next time, enjoy what you're reading.